Hey ma'am, I, along with the other members of Group 2, will be analyzing the Nokia mobile phone company case. I'll be covering the number 1 and the rest will be discussed by the other members. Question number 1. Give a brief background of your assigned company, history, financial capacities, product or products, size in terms of assets and liabilities, and etc. Nokia is a Finnish multinational company that started as a paper mill in 1865. Over the years, it evolved into a technology powerhouse and became the global leader in mobile phones from the late 1990s to the early 2000s. Nokia's strength was in hardware, but its failure to adapt to fast-changing software trends contributed to its decline. Financially, Nokia was very strong during its peak. In 2007, it had a revenue of over 51 billion euros and employed over more than 120,000 people. However, due to the declining mobile phone sales and poor strategic decisions, the company lost significant market share. In terms of assets and liabilities in 2008, Nokia had a total assets of around 40 billion euros. However, liabilities increased as revenues dropped, especially after 2010 when smartphones dominated the market.
Good day, ma'am. I will discuss the question number 2. Identify which among the 20 business cases is or are utilized in your case analysis and why. Business case used in the analysis are corporate governance failure and strategic management failure because Enron's case illustrates a corporate governance failure where top executives engage in the fraudulent accounting practices and the board of directors failed to fulfill its oversight responsibilities. This lack of accountability and transparency led to the company's collapse. Nokia's case represents strategic management failure. The company failed to adapt to rapidly evolving technological trends such as the shift toward smartphones and the Android operating system. Its inability to innovate and respond to market demands caused it to lose its competitive edge.
Ma'am, I will discuss the question number 3. What were the main problems of your assigned company before their downfall for Enron in Nokia or merging BDO in EPCI Bank and Robinsons Bank in BPI? Enron's downfall was mainly due to internal fraud and corporate governance failures rather than external business challenges. The main problems are massive accounting fraud, use deceptive accounting, example, market-to-market and special purpose entities to hide debt and inflate profits. Lack of transparency, financial reports were misleading and obscured the company's real condition. Corporate greed and ethical lapses, a culture that prioritized profits over ethics, leading to rule breaking and manipulation. Conflicts of interest. Arthur Andersen, its auditing firm, compromised its independence due to financial ties. Market deregulation. The deregulated energy market allowed Enron to exploit loopholes and engage in risky speculative practices. Nokia. Nokia's decline stemmed from its failure to adapt to changing technology trends and consumers' preference. The main problems are complacency and slow innovation, failed to act quickly as smartphones began replacing feature phones, weak software adaptation, its outdated Symbian's OS couldn't compete with Android or iOS, poor strategic partnerships, choosing Microsoft's Windows Phone alienated users and lacked market appeal. Internal organizational issues, bureaucratic structure slowed down innovation and created internal conflicts. BDO and EPCI Bank merger. This was a strategic merger, not driven by a downfall aimed at creating a more competitive bank. The main problems during merger acquisitions controversy. BDO, the smaller bank acquiring EPCI, created industry and public concern. Legal challenges issued arose with government, pension funds, share sales delaying the process. Integration difficulties, merging system branches and customer accounts required significant coordination. Citizens Bank and BPI merger. This was also a strategic merger focused on growth and market expansion, not failure. The main problems during merger: system and account integration, ensuring smooth migration of data and services to BPI system. Customer communication, properly informing clients about changes to avoid confusion or service disruption.
Number 4, what financial data and financial statements were used to decide for the downfall? Enron and Nokia. In the case of Enron, financial statements like the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement played a major role in identifying the company's downfall. When analysts and investigators reviewed these documents more closely, they noticed inconsistencies and red flags. For example, Enron used market accounting, which allowed them to record projected future profits as if they already earned. This made their income statement look profitable even when the actual cash flow was negative. Their balance sheet also hid a massive liabilities through off-the-book entities called Special Purpose Entities, SPEs. These SPEs were used to hide Enron's debt, which gave a public a false image of financial stability. When these details came to light, it became clear that Enron was deeply in debt and not as successful as it appeared.
On the other hand, ES downfall was imposed by fraudulent financial reporting by Enron. But financial data still have shown the company declining performance over time. In the income statement, there was a clear decline in revenue and net profit, especially when smartphones became the popular and Nokia came to it. The balance sheet showed a weakening position with decreasing asset and shrinking market share. Also, market performance data such as sale volume, earnings per share, and operating margins revealed how badly Nokia was losing its competitive edge. Analysts used these financial indicators to assess that Nokia was no longer a dominant player in the mobile industry. In both cases, the financial data and statements helped expose the problems within the companies, fraud and deception in Enron's case, and poor innovation in management decisions in Nokia.
Good day, Ma'am Cecilia Malolos. I'm Rogelyn Sicalius from BSBA Financial Management 4C. I will answer the question number 5. What was the financial status of the company before its downfall for Enron and Nokia? So Nokia was financially strong until around 2007. However, by 2021, its smartphone market share dropped below 15% and its net profits had significantly decreased. While Enron appeared strong on paper, reporting $101 billion in revenue in 2000, but in reality, it was hiding billions in debt. Once unrecovered, the company's stock collapsed from $90 to less than $1.
Who were the main persons responsible for the downfall for Enron and Nokia? For Nokia, the responsibility lies with top executives like CEO Olli-Pekka Kalasvuo, who failed to act fast in adopting a new smartphone strategy. For Enron, the key figures were Jeffrey Skilling, CEO, who pushed aggressive accounting practices; Andrew Fastow, CFO, who created fake entities to hide debt. Kenneth Lay, chairman, who allowed unethical practices to continue.
What is the present condition or status of your assigned company at present? Nokia is still operating today but is shifted focus from mobile phones to telecommunications infrastructures, including 5G networks. It sold its phone divisions to Microsoft in 2014 but continues to provide network solutions globally.
Hi, I'm Janet C. Padrigo, and I will answer question number 8. If you were hired by your assigned company, what would you have recommended to solve their problem at hand? What strategies would you have given to the company to resolve these issues? If I were part of Nokia during their downfall, I would have recommended partnering early with Google to use Android OS instead of relying on Symbian or Windows Phone, investing more in innovation and R&D, especially in user experience and app ecosystems, improving internal communication, and restructuring leadership to adapt quickly to market change.